Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here, and it is Monday morning, and we're doing a Monday moment. It's been a little while since we've done one of these because it's been the season. It's an off-season thing where we kind of just take a moment that happened either recently or in the past, and we talk about it. And I was going to do the Pistons game recently, but it happened too recently, and other things came up, so I switched it just at the last second. But I still am pissed off because I feel like that Detroit Pistons game that happened 2 weeks ago on a Sunday, where we broke our franchise assist record, deserved to be immortalized in the season of Open Gym. And I'm pissed at them because, look, I'm glad they made the Dennis and Joel content creator episode on Friday, but that's kind of a cop out. And the week that they could have done the Detroit game, they focused only on our losses with the in-season tournament, and they didn't focus on the 1 point win over Indiana or the franchise record for assists. Is this program supposed to be for presenting the best of the Raptors, presenting the culture, the good stuff? Then why are we showing the bullshit? The messed up in-season tournament where they kind of railroaded a bunch of teams out of it anyway. They had their favorites and they had a bunch of teams they did not want to do well in it. It's not just us. There were other teams that were in this league that they kind of railroaded out of it in certain ways that they wanted to, as far as scheduling and opponents and groups and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of mad. I feel like they need to go ahead and give the open gym treatment to both those games because they were exciting. They were positive for the Raptors. They were good. And in some ways, what is that fucking show for, Open Gym? What is it for? Is it for Raptors fans? So why don't you make the content with Raptors fans in mind instead of just like, oh, we're just going to fucking show this shit? Like, seriously, Open Gym. Seriously, put some honor on a team record that was broken this year and fucking immortalize it in your fucking show. Other open gym crews in the past have done this very well. And just, every accolade or good thing that happened with the Raptors is documented. It's almost like open gym is partly a history of like marking it down. And y'all are omitting our good history in recent times and just putting out the bullshit. And honestly, I'm so mad at Open Gym in some ways this season. I just feel like it's a fucking dropped off so badly this year, so badly. You're not going to do that Indiana episode. You're not going to do that Detroit episode. It's too late. It's like 2 weeks ago. You fucking jabronis. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, that's my rant. I have more rants. I have more rants. Yes, more rants. And I'm not the only one ranting. Scotty and I are ranting about the same thing as Florida State Seminoles yesterday. This is crazy. Now, I don't talk about college football very often on this channel, but I'm going to talk about it a little bit today because it's pertinent to Raptors world right now. And it's also really bullshit. Like, holy crap. How can you go undefeated, be 13-0, win the ACC championship on Saturday night, do everything exactly right? The whole reason why we have a college football playoff is to determine a lot of teams that are good at the top to be able to like figure out who the national champion is of college football. And if you're not going to put the undefeated teams in those last four, you're going to put teams with one loss in there. That's messed up. And no, don't tell me it's because the quarterback got hurt. You should never make decisions on that just because people got hurt. And you think that Florida State's just going to get their ass kicked if you put them in a bowl game for the college football championship? That's bullshit too. That is bullshit too. And they earn the right to get in there, even if the game isn't exactly the right kind of game in some ways. It's such bullshit. They're making up so many crazy ass excuses for why they've omitted Florida State from the college football playoff, the last four teams, and put other teams in there that probably shouldn't be in there. Alabama is obviously paying everybody off. Nick Saban and Alabama and the SEC got some sort of favor because honestly, they shouldn't be in there. They've got a loss, and it's just stupid. In some ways, the whole way they set it up is messed up. So I'm going to look at it this way. Florida State is actually playing for the championship with the Georgia Bulldogs and the Orange Bowl. And that fits because Georgia won the last two college football championships. So Florida State is undefeated this year. They're going to play the champion from last year and the year before. And if they beat Georgia, I'm going to recognize them as the national champions of college football because it's bullshit. It is absolute bullshit. Obviously, y'all never had a very good system for figuring out the national champion for a long, long time. The BCS into this CFP or whatever the fuck it is. It's all been stupid. And you're going to have to do more. They're going to add more playoff games to playoff teams to the system next year. So next year, this might have been fixed and been fine. But this year, it's a big, huge freaking mess. And they basically gave the shaft to Scotty and I's alma mater. So Scotty got on Twitter yesterday and he made a comment. He made a comment on Twitter. This is what Scotty said: boycott the Orange Bowl. No way. Facepalm and cry face. Yeah, because Florida State, Seminole Nation is feeling really pissed off and shafted and cheated. And, you do everything right. They tell you this is what you do to get to a national championship game. And it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. That's what you do in college football. You just make it as like, oh, they did everything right. And they get penalized because their quarterback is hurt. That's messed up. That's messed up. And I'm not even a diehard Seminole anymore. In fact, in some ways, I turned my back on that nation because I was disgusted with some of the behavior and some of the scandals around the Florida State football team. So in some ways, I'm not totally proud of being a Seminole, but I see this situation develop this weekend, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? This is crooked as hell. And money. It's all the fucking thing that made this happen. Is because Nick Saban, Alabama, SEC, money, bullshit. And I'm with Scott. If we do boycott it, it does say something. It's going to be weird. Like if Florida State Nation decides we're not going to watch our own bowl game this year, it could hurt viewers. It could hurt viewership. It could hurt different things. And maybe they will get the message. I mean, I'm not going to watch it. I wasn't going to watch it anyway, but Florida State Nation's pissed. And I'm in Florida State Nation because I'm a graduate and went to that school. And Scotty did too. And yeah, we're pissed. We're pissed today. So I'm pissed with Scotty, as all Knowles are this weekend, because of this stupid bullshit with the college football playoff. So last night, Masai celebrated 20 years of Giants of Africa with the Giants of Africa Gala. And it was awesome. It was a very, very bougie event, all dressed up, players and coaches and people around the Raptors and other people, celebrities being there. And yeah, there's lots of pictures coming out from it. So we're going to talk about that today and just general Raptors catch-up stuff. Tomorrow, Tuesday trivia. So come in tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. We're going to have a trivia, first one in a while. So that'll be fun. All right, let's see what y'all are saying in the comments first. Trevor J saying, good morning, Raptors family. Happy Monday. Happy Mondays. That's a band. That's an old school band right there. The Happy Mondays. I love it. Trevor J, good to see you, man. Today we have Trevor J Cup games for this evening. The next two games in the in-season tournament are tonight. In fact, we've got Michael Borland visiting Edmonds Race Mode Daily Pacers in their game tonight. And then the other game is, I believe, Country Kong Sacramento Kings versus Fun Guys New Orleans Pelicans. So two of these teams are going to get eliminated from getting this, and two of those teams are going to get closer to getting this. The Trevor J Cup. Is this just some frivolous cup, just like the NBA Cup? Well, that's to be determined whether this matters, whether the NBA Cup matters. We're going to find out. We've never done this before, so we have no idea. This cup could mean just as much as that NBA Cup. I'm telling you right now. All right, let's see. Dana's saying, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Canadian Dana. Always good to see your presence. Trevor saying, your life doesn't allow your emotions to overpower don't allow your emotions to overpower your intelligence. That's pretty good. That's pretty good advice for today, Trevor J. Words of wisdom. I agree with this. I have a lot more respect for people that think logically and don't let their emotions guide them in their life. I mean, emotions are important, and they are something to key on and see what your wants and needs are. But you shouldn't be acting out and doing everything very emotionally all the time. you should be very thought out and be like, well, logically, this is what I should do. I don't know. Some people have different levels of emotional thinking and rational and like, thinking, practical thinking. And sometimes the people that are emotional thinking, they have wrecks of lives. Let's just put it that way. G saying the Giants of Africa event looked amazing. Yeah, they had some musical artists, including the Motown Philly. That's right. Boys to Men taking the stage last night for Masai Ujiri and Giants of Africa and the Raptors and all them. And the Raptors were digging it. It's a legend. That's a legend. That's Boys to Men. And yeah, they were on the concert stage last night here in Toronto for Giants of Africa in celebration, 20 years of Giants of Africa. Really good stuff. It did look amazing, didn't it, G? And we're gonna go over it a bit in the Raptors Instagram. Let's go look at it right now. Raptors Instagram. We got Thad Young putting on blast. Thaddeus Young Jr. The kid. See, this is the thing. In the time Thad's been on our team, his son Junior has gotten bigger with muscle, and he's just grown taller. He's had a growth spurt, and you can tell the kid's in really good shape. I'm telling you, Thaddeus Young Jr., we're going to be watching him in a draft at some point. He's going to be in the NBA. Let's see. We got Mr. New York City. He's posted this. Everybody can't see your vision because God never gave it to them to see. Bam, bam. They don't know what's coming out with Marquise. I don't know. Only he knows. That's right. God is amazing. God is the greatest. That is what Marquise is saying this yesterday. And he's got young LeBron on one of his stories. It's like young LeBron. Hey, here's a little bit of something. They released the audio of what happened with LeBron James and Ime Udoka yesterday. And it's very interesting what was said and why Ime got thrown out. Now, in the context of that situation, MA had a technical before the situation happened with him and LeBron at that time. So he was sitting on one technical, and if he got the second one, he was going to get tossed. Well, basically what happened was, and this is hilarious. In some ways, I respect what MA was saying, but I also really respect what LeBron was saying. Basically, what happened was LeBron was doing his complaining to the refs, as he always does. Like, that travel, that's not a travel, getting all upset. And basically, MA starts saying this: quit being a soft ass bitch. Quit being such a little bitch. He kept saying the word bitch over and over again at LeBron, and LeBron took offense to it. He's like, that's not a word you should be using so loosely, is what LeBron was saying. That's a word that's like, in some ways, maybe LeBron was saying it partly because of the controversy with MA and him kind of being like maybe a little misogynist, and fire truck. So maybe he was like trying to fight for women, like in some sort of ways. They say, don't use that slur, like don't use that word so loosely around the game. Also, there's children here. You shouldn't be using that word. And he's saying that to him. And MA said, oh, what are you going to do about it? You're soft. You are a little bitch. And he's saying this, and JT Orr's standing in between them. And LeBron's saying, like, you shouldn't use that word. You shouldn't try and use that word and stuff. And he said, you are soft little bitch, is what he said to him. And JT Orr threw him out. That's why he threw MA out. He called him a soft ass bitch. And LeBron was telling him not to use that language near the court. That was the whole situation right there. Isn't that crazy? In some ways, I applaud LeBron for standing up against, using terms that have been used derogatory in certain ways that aren't totally flattering. I mean, if you're calling a female dog, a bitch, I get it. That's the technical term. But there's a lot of usages of the word bitch that are not flattering or right, or, it's a slur. It's a slur in some ways. Now, it's an innocuous slur to a degree because it's accepted in general society much better than fucker or something like that. But it's still a slur to a degree if you really think about it. All right, let's get back to the stories. Let's see. There's Coloco's story on the gala last night with Boys to Men on the screen. And apparently, I think it's either his dad or his brother absolutely loves Boys to Men. And he's like watching it for them. I'm enjoying it for you, whoever it is. I forget. I don't know who it is, which family member of Coloco's. So, Coloco, man, we want to see you play. We don't want to just see you enjoying Boys to Men at the Giants of Africa gala. We want to see you enjoying blocks and dunks on the court. That's what we really want to see, Christian. But I'm glad that you enjoyed the Boys to Men for your family member who couldn't be there. Dennis Schroeder's got Atelier Drip on blast. And then there's a nice picture of him and Ellen at the gala last night. Of course, Raptors official putting on blast the very fun event. I'm sure that the Schroeders had an excellent time at this event last night. This seems like this is right up their alley. You know, with Ellen's piece the other day of the Mariah Carey concert that she went to with coaches' wives and players' wives, she's really bonding and finding a social group in the Raptors community among players' wives and coaches' wives. And that's fantastic. She really was going on and on in her last content last week about how she's bonded with the Raptors family better than any of the other NBA teams that he's played for before. That, you know, they've been in other cities, Boston, Atlanta, Oklahoma City, LA, and she's never ever felt a connection to other players' wives or coaches' wives like she does right now. So that's cool. Like, in some ways, that event is a social event for her and Dennis. They get to be there with his teammates, and she also gets to hobnob with her friends, the wives of some of his teammates. So that's good stuff. That's really, really good stuff. And once again, like I said yesterday, there's roots going in the ground for the Schroeders to stay in Toronto for long term. I'm telling you right now. So yeah, it was the Dream Big Gala was what was going on with the Raptors last night. I see a picture of very nice tables and nice lighting and a big stage. It's tapped to see a remarkable evening dedicated to raising funds to support Giants of Africa ongoing mission of empowering African youth to dream big. Yeah, it's a very good cause, and it's just super, super successful. So they were asking, who do you want to see on the red carpet arrival? Who are you looking forward to seeing the most? And they said Coach Darko. And there was Coach Darko with his wife. She's looking stunning in a white, like a pantsuit kind of thing. And Darko just looking like wearing a similar suit to the one he wore when he took the job and did the press conference outside. Yeah, Coach Darko looking dapper. And there's his wife with him on the red carpet. Then we see Precious wearing a nice kind of like jacket shirt, it looks like. Precious looking fire. Of course, Precious, Giants of Africa is a very personal program for him because it was part of his discovery and him finding his way to the NBA. So, of course, Giants of Africa is something that he very much celebrates because he was that kid in the system before, and that got him to the NBA at this point. So, course he's going to be celebrating it. Then we see a picture of Coach Jama, and I'm guessing his girlfriend or wife, and he's very smiley and happy. Jama Mahalea, Lalea. Of course, he has a big part in Giants Africa, being from Swaziland, and his history of coming over to there and helping and educating the youth over there. Then we see Masai with his wife, and wow, his wife is wearing something so beautiful. What a beautiful blue dress. I'm doing a little bit of Joan Rivers Fashion Police today. That's right. I mean, there's a gala last night. What the fuck do you think I'm going to do? It's a gala. Yeah, Masai looking sharp with a very just like normal all black t-shirt with a suit kind of look. You know, Masai's just Masai. He's cool. But his lady, wow, she's looking like a knockout in that picture there. There's Dennis and Ellen sitting there at the table. Of course, I'm telling you, they probably did have a super good time with this game, like with this gala, like going to it. Like that's totally right up their alley. I can tell as far as like fun things to do. They're very much, and plus, of course, we're going to see the footage. I think that they've gotten to the point where Dennis and the YouTube content that he's making with him and Joel and Ellen is totally fine. And in fact, they're leaning into it, the Raptors, and that may be very well be they're encouraging him to do content at events like the one last night. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see an insider event from the Schroeders, maybe on both of their channels. It could very well be that Ellen has a clip coming out in the next couple of days saying, oh, the Raptors Giants of Africa Gala. Here's what my night was like when I went to it. So I think they got the green light on that as of the Open Gym episode that came out recently with Joel and Dennis featured. Yeah, there's a different band playing. It's a Tome playing. It looks like a good band with some ladies singing and a guy jamming out on the guitar. Tome, I'm not sure who they are. Let's see. And then Can you guess the next performer they were asking? And they were like giving a clue, and it turned out to be Boys to Men. And that is a huge surprise. I mean, Boys to Men at the end of the road. They're great, man. Like Boys to Men makes me think of school dances that I went to in like the early 90s that they would be playing. Yeah, there would be slow dancing to Boys to Men when young Lex was still in grade school. That's right. Let's see. And yeah, there they are dancing. Really good stuff. The Boys to Men concert. And then Masai took the stage and he said some really cool things. He basically said this, y'all. He said, I believe in Toronto. I believe in the Raptors. I believe in Canada. I believe in Africa. I believe in this world. And I want to continue to develop in those places basketball. So he's basically like we've been talking about this summer. In some ways, we're at disadvantage as the only Canadian team in the NBA. Well, let's lean into our strengths. And the burgeoning hotbed of talent in basketball is coming up in Canada and in Africa. And that's the thing. I think that's just brilliant and smart. If we can get a pipeline of talent coming from this country we're in right here and over there, the place that they were celebrating last night, that's what it's all about. And I think the Masai really he means it. Like in some ways I get it. Like he's at odds with a lot of different things right now. In some ways he's a rogue. In some ways he's somebody who's not exactly like the rest of the NBA. He doesn't just kind of fall in line with what they think he should be doing or what he should do. He really is kind of got a chip on his shoulder at this point and saying, this lawsuit that's going on with New York is going to be like part of it too. So it's probably like, fuck y'all. I'm going to make Toronto a good team no matter how badly y'all want us to be. And also, I'm going to develop the hell out of both these countries, both this country and that continent, I should say. And we're going to get better and better players coming. And we're going to focus on those players because in some ways, the signs are pointing that American players just aren't trained as well as international players at this point. And we're going to lean into our strengths of getting homegrown talent in Canada and great talent from the continent of Africa as well. And that's really what the main speech of what Masai is saying is we're going to continue to develop young people in the continent of Africa and give them more and more chances to have a path to playing basketball professionally or in college or whatever. So it's good stuff. It's very good stuff all around. Growth in the game in that continent is always good. And it's going to mean really good economics for that those countries over there in different places as they get ball leagues set up. And there's more and more good things getting established over there. Pascal Siakam has got his Dream Big PS43 Foundation on blast. I'm pretty sure he was at the event last night, but he wanted to show his philanthropic kind of event things too, as far as his PS43 Foundation and the great work that it is doing on his Instagram. Javon Freeman Liberty with the entry picture. And then Precious has got his What If Unlimited Foundation kind of on blast also. So it was a very charity kind of day yesterday with the Raptors, the Giants of Africa 20-year gala, and then the other guys promoting their own projects that they're doing also. So yeah, there's your Raptors Instagram check. Let's see. Trevor's saying not even one NBA game was on yesterday. That was by design. That was by design so that they could have a day of rest to start this tournament. There were games scheduled for Boston or Indiana, Sacramento. They wanted them not to have to play a back-to-back going into those games. So they just didn't schedule anyone yesterday. Yeah. So yeah, 2 games tonight, both in the in-season tournament, and yeah, 2 more tomorrow, and then we play again on Wednesday finally. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing. Jimmy Pope is here. What's up? What's up, Pope of Positivity? Jimmy Pope is in the house. Always good to see Jimmy. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Free crew. I welcomed the break yesterday. I was able to catch up on other stuff, laugh out loud. I didn't realize how much I schedule around NBA games, laugh out loud. I know, it's weird too. Like this little break is very interesting because it's kind of like, wow, yeah, this has been a grind since the season started. The games have been coming very fast and furious. This schedule this year is very manipulated. I've realized that what the NBA did with the Raptors schedule this year is they have a lot of hurry up and stop kind of shit. We get like the beginning of the schedule, right the first week, we have like 6 games within the first 8 days of the schedule being on. And then we get these weird periods like the road trip where we had 2 days off between every single game. So they're on the road with all this extra time in hotel rooms. And then we had like this really fast and furious period again. And now we have this really weird 4-day break. The thing that I'm really suspicious of is that it seems like, and I looked at the rest of the schedule for the rest of the year, and then there's a couple more of these periods where the Raptors have like 4 days off inexplicably just in the middle of the season, where they jammed up so much stuff in certain areas of the schedule, and then they have it wide open in others. And I'm thinking about it, I'm windowing it, and I'm like, you know what they're doing? They're trying to screw with the biorhythm of our team as far as establishing a pattern of physicality every other day. Like you usually play a game, have a day off, play a game. And most teams, if they can get that schedule for most of the season, that's good because it's perfect. You got a day off, you get a day of rest, and you play again. You don't have a back to back. Well, I feel like what they're doing is they're really trying to screw with our natural biorhythm by making it so erratic, the pattern of our games this season. There's like a whole dump of a bunch of them in a row. And then there's a week like this week where they don't play it fucking all for 4 days. And this isn't the only week that's like this. You know, you can think about the All-Star break. That is a period where it's weird when you come back from it because you've had like 5 days off. Well, they're doing this to us. There's like 3 or 4 periods where we get like 3 or 4 days off in between games, like this one right now. It's just inexplicably weird. It's so weird. And like in some ways, I'm so suspicious of how erratic the rhythm of our games coming in, going through them is, and how that could affect our players from being inconsistent. Does that make sense? Like seriously, if you're used to playing like every other day, and that's a normal NBA schedule, they're doing every other day, and then they're doing back to back, jammed in 3 games in 4 nights, and then they're doing like a week where you have like 2 games the whole fucking week, and they're all spread out. Yeah, I'm suspicious of this because there's a couple of really weird periods in the season where there's no games like this, right? The one we're going through right now, and they don't really have any rhyme or reason to them. And sometimes they don't benefit us. They really don't, because they'll be like they're giving us rest days on a road trip, and they're not even home. You know, it's crazy. It's really weird how manipulated the schedule is at this point. And with the in-season tournament, they're gonna have more opportunities to screw teams over in situations with what's going on with that. So it's so weird. Jimmy's saying, I feel you on Lex on why showing us losing, but not our wins. Open gym has been lacking this year. Yeah, I don't understand that. It's supposed to be our propaganda. It's supposed to be our celebration. It's supposed to be the movie treatment to tell the great stories of our achievements and not like showcase our failures and tell us, oh, this and this. We were destined to lose in the in-season tournament no matter what. It was not in the NBA script. And Open Gym just doubling down and pounding it into us is you guys are losers. You're not in the in-season tournament. You're losers. Well, so is 22 other teams in the league, including the defending champion Denver Nuggets. But that's all conveniently left out on this. The way that the press and the media made us sound so loserish for being eliminated from the in-season tournament was so totally unnecessary. In some ways, they want to build stakes for it, for the NBA to make it mean something. Well, that's not the way to go about it. That really isn't. And I thought that was all very, very unnecessary. Most of the teams in the league did not get to the next round. And in some ways, it's such a new thing. It's like it's experimental. Why are you getting down on us for not doing well in something that we've never done before? And we're destined to not do well in it anyway, because that's not what they wanted. So, yeah, that kind of pisses me off. And Open Gym, seriously, start using your powers for good. And stop, you're just half-assing it, and you're fucking not really for us in some ways. Like, seriously, I get it. You got to cover the in-season tournament, talk about it. But you should have covered the other things that week also. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's budget cuts. Y'all couldn't go to all the games that week. Well, we got to go to the in-season tournament games. Oh, man, why didn't we go to Indiana? Why didn't we cover the Detroit game? We should have filmed footage on that Sunday. We dropped the ball. You lost history. You're fucking supposed to archive our shit. And you're not archiving the good shit, is what I'm saying. Blackhawks here. Raptor Freaks, good morning. Good morning to you, Neil. Happy to see you this morning. Cool Cat saying open gym sure is different since we lost the main guy. I hardly watch it now. It's not good anymore. Yeah, it's weird. Even this episode that came out this weekend, as much as I like Dennis and Joel, it's really kind of a cop out episode because they just basically went and stole a bunch of Joel and Dennis's footage from their content and just made an episode edited from that. It wasn't like they went and did very much work to do that episode. They did a lot of editing from their channels and content that they had already made to make that episode about Joel and Dennis's relationship and how Joel is like got Dennis into YouTube and making all the channel stuff. So yeah, it's lazy, and in some ways it's very direct and not very artistic at this point. And it's really like my gripe about the positive stuff. Show that our accomplishments. I wanted that immortalized, that 1 point win over Indiana. I wanted the Detroit assist record game to be immortalized in the open gym format, but thus it will never happen. It slipped through the cracks because our open gym sucks this year, and they are not really like focusing on what they should be, and that's the team and its accomplishments. Yeah, it's messed up. They're losing like clicks all around on all Raptors content official from Raptors content, whether it's the way they change Raptors today, with their silly little like pictures and they're pointing and they're like, there's 5-minute little clips. A lot of us don't want to like watch short little clips and keep finding them like that. Just give us the whole 20 minutes that you filmed, Akil, and we'll watch that. Less people are watching Raptors Tonight for different reasons at times too. Although that's still really good. Raptors Tonight is still really good and at a high level. But the other stuff is like, man, I don't know. A lot of Raptors official stuff is going downhill. Like, I worry about y'all. Y'all were top-notch Raptors admin, with amazing content and so much innovation and originality. And now it's kind of like, what's going on with our team? It's like, y'all need to invest in good people and get good stuff out there. Blackhawk saying, keep ranting, Lex. Damn jabronis. He's talking about college football stuff. Yeah, that was messed up. In some ways, I get it. I mean, I understand the argument the other way, but it still is not good for the game. How do you say you know the exact national champion when you're not letting a team that's undefeated from one of the major conferences in the United States that has beaten every single team they played, and they're the ACC champions, and they're not involved in the college football playoff because of power and money of the SEC? That's the whole reason why. We know that's why. And a lot of people are upset about it. And a lot of people are talking about it, as they should. Monique is saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. What an event last night. Giants of Africa always wins. Yeah, classy, good stuff. Boys to men, BBD, BDBD. That's cool, man. They had the legends, Boys to Men there. Fiercey saying, good morning, fam, and happy Monday. Snowy day in Ottawa. Okay, so we get in the weather. Actually, there's snow coming down here now. I see it coming down outside here in Toronto right as we're speaking. You said that, Fiercely. I turned around. There's snow. There's snow out here. There's flurries just falling on the ground. Very cool. Very cool. I hope it doesn't stay, but we'll see. Fiercely saying, you're right, Lex. Open gym is not as good. They could have also highlighted the comeback in San Antonio. The old content showcased Fred's vision in 2020. Yeah, there's been highlights this season. It's almost like they don't want us to see the good things about the Raptors and just believe that they're shitty. No wonder half our fan nation thinks we're so bad. Our propaganda is telling them that, because even our propaganda that's supposed to be telling them that we're good is failing right now. There's so many people like, look, we're 9-11. We've won 9 games this season, and they did not want us to win 9 games at this point. No, they didn't. So we're doing very good, and we're going to do even better. Trust me. But I can't fault these people for not believing in the Raptors, because open gym's teaching them all the warts. And instead of the good stuff, like that San Antonio game, did we get open gym treatment on the San Antonio or the Washington comeback? No, we didn't. Hardly at all. Maybe just a smidge. Maybe an afterthought. Yeah, it's annoying. Monique is saying they finally put Joel on open gym too. Nice. Why do we need Joel on there though, Monique? It's a cop-out episode. Seriously, it's a cop-out episode. We don't need Joel on open gym. He's just Dennis's homie that he's known since they were little kids, and they're brothers, and he's just his helper. Do we need OG's best friend in his open gym episode? No, we don't. We don't need Pascal's best friend in his open gym. So why are we doing Dennis's best friend in his open gym? If they focus on Ellen and Dennis and their channels, but I get Joel's an important part of that. And I'm not hating on Joel. It's just really open gym. You're digging that way. We're going to start doing profiles on people's, I don't mind if it's family members in some ways, but we're going to do people's barbers. We're going to do people's like cooks next. I don't fucking know. In some ways, that's the way I look at it. Because honestly, I mean, Joel's doing reactions to Mr. Beast videos. It's like, really? This is what we're going to put on blast? I mean, it's cool in a way, but not. It's not really. And it's a lazy episode. Like I said, they just basically went and edited a whole bunch of stuff from Dennis and Joel's YouTube channels and threw it in there. I mean, I like the backstory. I like hearing about their friendship and how close they are. And I'm glad that Dennis has Joel. And Joel's a cool guy. I have nothing wrong with him. But it's kind of a waste of an episode in the middle of the season. It just is. It's like I'd rather them go and film the games and show us the games and stuff. Open Gym's just falling off so bad. So bad. So that is Jama's wife. Okay, cool. Yeah, she's very pretty. And man, what a great event last night. Everybody's looking really, really dapper and fixed up, real nice. You dress up real nice. Yeah, Fiercely saying Dennis and Ellen should take over Open Gym. Laugh out loud. More positive content. That'd be fun. I mean, in some ways, Open Gym has been supplanted by Dennis and Ellen Schroeder's YouTube channels. I feel like I'm getting more of the Open Gym feel from Dennis and Ellen. Ellen, the wife of a basketball player, is showing more interesting kind of insider content than Open Gym is at this point. How the mighty have fallen. That franchise is so amazing. And you can see the different times where it's in different places where it's like really, really well done. The earlier stuff is weird. It's not as good. So at the very beginning, but then it got really into its really good time. And oh my gosh, Open Gym was fantastic around our championship and really, really good for like a good solid 6 years. That's why I'm like so pissed about Open Gym's decline, is because it's been such a powerhouse, amazing. I used to brag to people that it's the best reality show on a pro sports team that's out there at this point. Forget about the NFL shows, forget about any other NBA team trying to do it. Open Gym was the best one of those kind of shows that was around. In fact, they were pioneer, and a lot of people stole shit from what Open Gym was doing on those other shows that came out later. And at this point, they're not. It's like, it's just sad. It's sad. It's like I look at what's happened to it, and I'm just like, why? Why is this like this at this point? Why? I'm enjoying Dennis Schroeder's YouTube channel better than Open Gym. In some ways, his YouTube channel is like more like professionally done in some ways. It's really interesting. Kareem saying Open Gym is a crock of shit now. Yeah, redeem yourself somehow, some way. I don't know how you do it. You got to just do something amazing where you're like Raptors fans like us, the Raptor freaks, the ones that are going to stick with this team and watch them through all kinds of whatever happens with them, whether it's winning or losing. This is your audience right here, Open Gym. And in some ways, you should be making episodes that please us. Forget about everybody else. Forget about Ed Rogers. Forget about pleasing Bell or whoever. Please the fans. That's what that show's for. That show is for pleasing the fans. And it's also a very good advertisement to get new fans. If it's done right, if you get those chills, those goosebumps from watching the music and something amazing happening on the court, that's gone. I haven't had goosebumps from an Open Gym episode in a couple of years, and that's sad. That's sad. You could be a losing team, and I'd still get goosebumps from a really well done Open Gym episode back in the day, where you're like, ooh, I'm feeling the emotion from this episode, and I'm feeling it. I'm like, really, the music's just right, and the camera and the pan, and just like, oh, you know what I'm talking about. When cinematographers and people that make stuff, directors and film people make something that moves you, In some ways, Open Gym ain't moving me. It's moving me to turn it off because I'm just like, why am I wasting my time watching this? I no offense to Joel and Dennis. I do love those guys. But I'm just like, why am I watching this sad piece on the in-season tournament and our failures? Oh my gosh. Way to turn everybody off, Open Gym. Way to turn everybody off. Carlos saying at this point, the IST is the last thing the Raptors need to worry about. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of us aren't worrying about this. Nuggets Nation's kind of like, well, I'm glad we're not in the in-season tournament because we're hurt. And we need this time to get over our injuries instead of trying to play tonight in one of these games either tonight or tomorrow. They're relishing the period of time. Some teams are like, yeah, we're glad we're not playing further in this thing because in some ways we need this time off that we're getting right now. So yeah, let's see. Carlos saying Malachi and Precious two-man net rating is minus 16.6, worst in the league. You're telling me stats like Open Gym shows me content, Carlo. Evelyn said, "Happy Monday, Raptor Freak family. Happy Monday to you, Evelyn. Granny swag. We love our granny. The most swaggiest granny that any fan nation could have. She is dropping swag on people left and right. Oh my gosh, Evelyn, we love you so much. I hope you're doing very well. Prince Toussaint is very well fed and happy. And baby Candace is growing and smiling and smiling and smiling. Yes, Wayne's here. Good to see Wayne's trainer. A great Raptor freak. A very, very stoic and strong Raptor freak. Doesn't take no mess, is what I'm saying right now. The lack of quality content is always due to giving people jobs and responsibilities who are afraid of losing the job. State of corporate life, autonomy is gone, and just lackeys put in positions. And we're seeing this like right now. It's like, oh, it's December. Christmas is coming up. Let's just fucking fire everyone. Woo! Let's fire everybody at Yahoo. Yeah! Ow! Woo! Today, right now, all these CBC people are getting laid off. Yes! Woo! That's the Christmas spirit, you corporate fucks. You fucking pieces of shit that are laying off people right before the holidays. Fuck you, you fucking Scrooge Ebenezer motherfuckers. Yeah, what is that? What is that? Ahmet Man, Oren Weisfeld, out of a job at Yahoo Canada over the weekend. And now no more hustle play. No more Ahmet Man and CJ Miles. No more because Yahoo made a corporate decision. Woo. That's fucked up. And more of this kind of bullshit is going to happen in different areas of our lives as people cut corners for corporate reasons. Oh, it's not part of our profit margin. It's not going to go, Rick. We've got to make the cuts. All right, Dale, we'll do it. Oh, it's fucking bullshit. I'm telling you, CBC's going to fire a bunch of people today, is what I'm hearing. That's right. That's right. Fiercely saying people's barbers. People's barbers. I don't even remember when I said that. Yeah, we're gonna watch things with people's barbers on Open Gym next. I don't know. Let's see. Cool Cat saying a lot of Open Gym media staff are hired by other teams or other players. Fred hired our Toronto media guy with him. Pascal has hired the Toronto media guys too. So that's the thing. They get the job with Open Gym. They start filming the players, and they're like, "Man, you should just do this for me on my brand. I'll pay you more. Red Bull and me will pay you more if you do the Pascal stuff." Okay. So all the creative ones get bought and they go to other people. And this, I could totally see this, because you see Siakam's content is amazing. Wow. Okay. That's where the Open Gym guy went. He went to go do stuff for Siakam. Oh, he went down south with Fred to Houston. Tristan's gone. Tristan went to Houston and he's covering the Rockets and Fred. He went with Fred in that I didn't understand that photographers could be part of free agent deals. That you could lose your photographer because your point guard left all of a sudden. Oh my gosh, we lost our photographer with our point guard this summer. That's a loss that nobody's like keying on right now. We lost Tristan. He went to Houston with Fred. No, it's true. It's true. Good talent gets bought and goes out, and you got to find the next crop. You got to develop it like the G League. Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I have a gripe. Maybe it's unrealistic. Maybe I shouldn't care about the Open Gym, something I've loved so much for years now, and it being kind of not as much as how much I love it anymore. It's just how it is. Like, you got to accept it. I don't know. Fiercely saying, Dennis mentions the losses, but maybe 5%. When we win, he puts us on blast and shows a positive perspective on his content. Yeah, he gets it. He gets it. I mean, that's the thing. In some ways, we got a lot of people working around the Raptors that aren't as professional and diehard about winning and losing as Dennis Schroeder. And I get it. People that come in from other fields and don't really have a basketball background, they may not be huge Raptors fans. They're just excited with the prestige of working for the Raptors. In some ways, you need to look at the things like Dennis. Dennis is like, Joel, I can't go out on Halloween. We lost, and I don't feel like celebrating. I don't feel like going out and run around Toronto in the clubs with you just because we lost. And I don't deserve it in some ways. I feel like I don't deserve it because we lost. And I'd feel weird if I was out enjoying myself in public and fans of the Raptors saw me happy because I'm not. I'm not happy about us losing. He was like that. And in some ways, that really tells you part of why, like, Dennis is like trying to show the good stuff, and he doesn't want them to look bad in a bad light. I appreciate him for that. Y'all could learn a lot from Dennis and his sensibilities on his content, Open Gym. You really could. Cool Cat saying the Dennis session thing should have been part of his team intro. We have franchise history to celebrate. Is Open Gym on a budget so they don't have media professionals anymore? I feel like this is what it is, Cool Cat. I feel like that's what it is. Like, that Dennis piece could go at any time. It's not like it has to go right now. It almost feels like they had it as a backup piece. And if they didn't do enough work that week, then, we'll just throw in the Dennis piece right now because it'll like fill in. It's like that. I feel like that's what it was. I mean, it is a really big fuck up to miss the franchise record for assists as a team. That's a big fuck up. And maybe a casual who's running Open Gym didn't realize that's a franchise record. That's a huge, huge accomplishment in that game. I don't give a shit if it's Detroit. That is a huge part. That's a history moment. And y'all failed at covering it and putting it out there. If you heard me right now, Open Gym people, did you realize that that's an important moment in the Raptors' history? No, you didn't, because you don't understand the Raptors and their history, obviously. And that's part of the problem, too, is we got people that are covering and making up the ideas for episodes that don't understand what they should be covering. They're covering other bullshit like Joel and fucking his YouTube and the fucking bullshit of the in-season tournament, and they're not covering a franchise team record. That's messed up. That is messed up. It's so messed up. Yeah, I think they are on a budget, and they got lousy people that they're paying for now. Wayne's saying, I'm thinking about our perimeter defense, and I remember that isn't McDaniels supposed to be a good defender? He can solidify games time by concentrating on locking down the opponent's hot hand. Yeah, I could see this being a path for how Jalen McDaniels can get more minutes on our team is if he really shows a very high defensive acumen and skill within our system. If he can be another one of these long arm monsters that is really, really in sync with the other four guys on the court when he's out there and playing the team defense correctly, he could definitely buy himself more minutes and get more trust in playing all the time. It's just that he has to play with those guys in the defensive system, like in concert. Like, he can't be kind of not with them in like his head and what he's doing. He needs to be working in sync with them. And that's the biggest challenge I've seen with my eyes this season for him, is just working in sync with the other guys on defense. He's had very good success and done it very well for stretches, but there are also lapses with him from time to time. Now, if he could make his threes, that would get him more playing time very quickly too. So he's made them here and there, and I like that. There's a lot of promise to Jalen McDaniels. There's a lot of promise. And yeah, I think he's a very good defender. I've seen him block some shots, and I'm like, this guy, in some ways, has got a little bit of Koloko kind of blocking in him. And without Koloko, maybe we do need more McDaniels. Maybe we do. Fiercely saying, so those who actually put positive coverages and spins on the Raptors lose their jobs? Interesting. I don't even know if that's what it is. I think it's just that they're getting paid higher amounts of money to go other places because they're super talented. It could really be that Open Gym was just a hotbed of really supremely talented cinematographers and directors and camera people for the years, and they've been mining it, and we may have just dried it out. And it could very well be that, like, the mining of that, those great people, they're going to get better jobs, they're paid more, and then boom, we don't have as good people. And then the budget's not as good to bring the next people in, and the quality drops off. So I think that's what it is right there. Let's see. Cool Cat saying better career opportunities for Tristan to grow his business. Yeah. I can't hate on that. It's not like I'm upset at these people for going and whatever choice they've made. It's just, I'm just sad because the product has suffered for it. Let's see. Monique is saying, I didn't realize about Yahoo and Amit, CJ, damn. Yeah. Yeah, they fired every single person that worked for Yahoo Sports Canada this weekend, and that none of that content's going to be coming out anymore. No more hustle play with Mike Roach. None of that. That's why they said this in the summer, Monique. When they did the last hustle play, they said, well, we hope we can continue to do the show, but we're not sure. Well, we found out they're not because, they cleaned house. No more Yahoo Sports Canada at all. Every single person that wrote those articles, like Oren Weisfeld and Ahmet Man, they don't have jobs with them anymore, and they're not going to be doing those jobs anymore. They may get hired by other people, maybe, but yeah, everybody was saying really nice things to Ahmet Man and Oren Weisfeld this weekend on Twitter because they felt bad for them losing their jobs at the beginning of December. And now they're about to fire a whole bunch of people at CBC today. And I don't know if that'll reach into sports people in CBC or how that might affect things. It could very well be there's another sports writer somewhere. You know what's happening, y'all? It's AI. It's AI. These big corporations are going to start writing shit with the AI bots and Chat GPT. It's going to be so weird. Now it's going to be up to us, the consumers, to reject AI shit, just like we reject the self checkout and stuff like that. It's like if we don't like this future, we don't have to buy into it economically, and we don't need to go and read that shit. You want to half-ass content and writing articles? Well, I'll half-ass like not looking at it or paying attention to it. Seriously, it's like people say, this is an interesting thing that somebody said about movies. I forget exactly who. It was a director. I think it was somebody like Stanley Kubrick. And he said, listen, if you only watch a movie just to watch it once, you don't get it. Movie is art, and it's meant to be watched over and over again to catch every little thing about it. There's all kinds of things that directors put into movies back in the day that just layered and layered full of context and imagery and things and Easter eggs that you would maybe not get the first time you watch it. And he's like, the director's very like, if you don't appreciate art, you don't appreciate the art of making a movie. You want to just watch a movie just for 2 hours of entertainment and just get your brain stupid CGI, all the bullshit that they make movies now. That's what we're talking about. There's a difference between making art and there's a difference between making like just bullshit and content. In some ways, content's a loaded term and a lot of people hate it right now. It's like art is something you put love into and you really fine craft it. It takes time, and it sometimes is not good for your budget. It's not good for profit because it's something that you create that's just beautiful, and it's just like it may take longer. It's not efficient. Like I'm just going to fucking chat GPT this Raptors write up where Oren Weisfeld would have wrote this shit a year ago, but I'm going to make the computer just spit out and regurgitate bullshit, and we're going to put it out as an article. That's why this shit happened. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They're replacing Oren Weisfeld and Ahmet Man with AI, not Allen Iverson. Yeah, Cool Cat saying Tristan 416 is with Fred, not the Houston Rockets. Well, he might as well be. I mean, I know that's a distinction. But it's still, he's went with Fred to the Rockets. That's all I said. I said he went with Fred to the Rockets. I'm not saying he's working for the Rockets, but he's down there with Fred in Houston. He's not in Toronto covering the Raptors. So, I mean, it's semantics. Let's see. Wayne's saying opportunities for those guys to start their own content. They produce non-confrontational content. Plus, you rightly state that AI isn't at play, but AI can't interview stakeholders. Corporate jobs suck. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of limits to it, but they're going to figure out all the different ways they can cut corners and save money with these new things like this. Yeah, and it's all kinds of creatives that are in different places that are going to be affected by this. Of course, visual and graphic artists are very much at the forefront of this fight with the AI images. And then people that write stuff, of course, they're in a battle with this. There's all kinds of different weird areas where, listen, what I'm doing right here, they can't fucking replace me. No, you can. You could take the algorithm of all my streams and make a carbon copy of me eventually, but you won't be able to do it now. But at some point in the future, they may have Lex perpetually because they got enough hours of me recorded that they could put me on forever. And they could even AI me so that I'd talk about current situations even after I'm dead. Like 50 years after I'm dead, I could still be doing the Raptors Freak channel because they have so much information about me talking and algorithm. They could put it all on a computer and boom, there's virtual Lex for perpetuary ever. They might not want to do that, but it'd be very interesting to think about that they could do that because I put so much out online. So, hey, it's crazy. All right. I don't know what else we should talk about today. We'll do a short one today. It's not like it's an off day and it's kind of dumb. Yeah, Scotty's really mad about the decisions with the college football. Very, very mad about it. I'm with him. All right, here's something. Raptors 905 is doing a season of giving holiday drive. They're collecting unwrapped toys and gift cards that will be going to Peel Children's Aid Society. And it's today at 5:30 p.m. till 8 p.m. at Airport Road, 10970 Airport Road in Brampton. So there'll be special appearances from 905 players, Stripes, the mascot, and giveaways. So if you're around 10970 Airport Road at Brampton, go down there to the event tonight because you may see some 905 players, including Grady, and they're going to be collecting unwrapped toys and stuff. And if you could bring stuff to them, that'd be fantastic. And one of the things I've heard in these kind of drives to get gifts for these kind of things is always the little kids that get all kinds of gifts and stuff thrown in these drives. Like the little kids are fine, but there's often older kids that would like to get good older kind of get kid stuff. So if you are going to bring something to this, I would recommend bringing something for an older age bracket of kid, because sometimes it really is people donate a lot of stuff for the little kids, and there's barely anything for kids that are older age. So just a little advice, if you are going to be giving any toys or any kind of giveaway stuff to any charities this holiday season, just so you know. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. Yeah. Tonight there's games. Pacers are hosting the Celtics. You go Pacers. I want to see y'all beat them so bad. Apparently Porzingis is already out for this game, so they will not have Kristaps Porzingis tonight for the Boston Celtics. Rick Carlisle really adamant with the Indiana Pacers yesterday that this is a very serious game and this is so important. He's really trying to hammer it home to his Indiana team, just the gravity of how important this game tonight at 7:30 is at Indiana against the Boston Celtics in the in-season tournament tonight. I'm rooting for y'all like heavy. I want y'all to just knock the Celtics out tonight and go off the script that Adam Silver's trying to write. Yeah, Pacers, you can do that. You have the power. Remember, always check on your Yahoo fantasy basketball team if you have one. We're moving into our seventh week of the season, and there's a lot of records starting to form for the different teams in the Yahoo Fantasy Basketball League. Yeah, let's see. Fiercey saying, have to go, fam. Have a blessed day and see y'all tomorrow at trivia. That's right. Fiercey, our current Raptor Freak trivia leader, going to come in and get some more points to add to her total. Let's see if Amit shows up and he can try and catch her in some sort of fashion. But yeah, Raptors Freak, Tuesday trivia tomorrow at 9:30 sharp. Monique saying giving is nice. 905 need to focus more on wins. Laugh out loud. He's like, they're giving out the W's to people. They're so charitable, the 905. They're getting the toys for the kids, and they're giving the W's to the other teams to make them feel good. How considerate. How considerate of them, Monique, right? Let's see. Cool Cat saying, yep, it's AI. SI got busted with AI articles with AI images and fake names. AI compile information that humans produce. It's not original. AI produced an article based on September 2023 data. Yeah, this is going to be a weird frontier. We're at the Wild West. It really is like that. The internet is the most Wild West it's ever been, with the crazy fake images. Everything you see online, you're going to really have to question. Right now, it's not so good quality. And you can still tell. But at some point, deep fakes and AI kind of shit's going to be really hard to figure out if it's real or not. And that period of time is going to be really crazy time of illusion and fakeness and lying. And there's going to be a lot of ugly, evil people that are going to utilize it for very bad things. So be aware of this. Keep track of what AI looks like right now so you can tell what is AI generated and what isn't. It's going to get better. And it's going to be harder and harder to figure out what is AI and what isn't as we go on in time. So please be aware of this stuff and don't trust everything you see or hear anymore, because this world is going in that direction. Seriously. Yeah. And she's saying, yep, AI is going to mess up humanity. Be careful with your social media account. You're agreeing to your likeness and data being fed into AI. Well, yeah, we're all going to be a part of the machine. Ah! In some ways, I do not worry about things I cannot control. And in some ways, there's a lot we can't control. We can only hope and pray that the powers that be, the politicians that are in charge of adjudicating and things like this, will be responsible with making the rules for how things go. And that the penalties of law will come down on people that misuse AI and those kind of things in the future for very bad stuff. Yeah, Milbester's here. Good to see New York Knicks fan in the house with us. Hey, Raptor Street, I'm back. Just wanted to say good morning, happy Monday. Just enjoying Knicks season until the Bucks knockout rounds today. Hope we win. Waiting for a WBC qualifiers in 2025. That's right. You guys play tomorrow against the Bucks, and you guys are in Milwaukee, I believe. You guys are not the top seed in that, so you'll be playing against Milwaukee in Milwaukee. That's gonna be a tough game. Giannis and Dame Lillard and Adrian Griffin. We'll have to see how y'all do. It'll be very interesting. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Cool Cat saying, I'm glad that we're not in the in-season tournament. We are a first year of a reset, learning new systems, determining who will be here for the future. Yeah, it's not really in our time scheme of things. In some ways, you look at the 8 teams that are in the in-season tournament right now, and they're at a place where they've been kind of getting themselves together for the last couple of years, and they're not just thrown together like the summer, like we have been with our coach. So it makes sense who's playing in it, like the tonight and tomorrow, because they're teams that have been kind of getting their shit together the last 2 or 3 years, and they've got their shit more together. All right, good to see Mel Bester, the New York Knicks fan, coming in and check on us, a friendly one. Yeah, he's saying, I'm a huge baseball fan as well. Yankees fan with the Knicks from New York. We had the WBC in March, and the pandemic delayed the 2021 WBC and 2020 qualifiers. Baseball getting global in Europe. Yeah, I'm not really a huge on baseball. I mean, of course, I'm a Jays fan, and I'm really hoping we can get Ohtani. I'm hearing crazy shit where we might get him and Juan Soto. And people in the MLB are getting like, no, you can't have both of them. And I'm like hoping the Jays can pull it off because they've got some interesting stuff. Hopefully they can get a big name. One or both of them, that'd be fantastic. We'll have to see. Yeah, I don't really follow baseball that closely. I really, really don't. But I do root for the Jays. Cool Cat saying, talking about Pacers, Halliburton wants to be in playoffs now. He is sick of losing. That's a warning for our fan base that want everyone moved out for Scotty. Yeah, I'm not worried about all that because Scotty is a company guy, and in some ways he doesn't want to lose. The only thing that Scotty wants is progress. He wants to feel like he's working towards something positive and that he's getting gaining ground instead of maybe not going anywhere. That's the biggest thing for Scott. He can take losing if it feels like it's working towards something bigger and better later. Trust me. But yeah, that's the one thing. And also, yeah, I warn against trading everybody away because yeah, we'll get worse. Trevor's saying the Bible said it. We are living in the end of times. The greatest deception, the devil, that he is not alive. Trevor, ooh, he's getting that fire and brimstone kind of talk going. Cool Cat saying it, Carlo. Yep, I work in IT and we've disabled use of AI so far. Lots of issues. Not because you can mean you should use it. Not because you can doesn't mean you should use it. Yeah. There's a lot of interesting stuff that's going to come from this. All right, we're just over an hour. I'm going to wrap it up really quick. Milbester's saying, Raptor Street, Jays have a good season, but they lost to the Twins in the wild card. Jays were really good. I know Yankees didn't even make the playoffs. At least you have the Jays. Listen, I was really sad about the way they went out to Minnesota. It was kind of pathetic and sad. But they did have a pretty good season, ups and downs, and they played pretty well for most of the season. There's a lot of young, promising things about the Jays. But once again, I worry about that team because in some ways it's run for profit and not necessarily for winning, and that annoys me. I'd like them to go for winning and try to win another World Series. But it's so hard. Like the being in the American League East with you guys and the Red Sox is just a really hard place to be. And that's just in general for Toronto as a team, whether it's in the NBA or in baseball, is we're geographically in there with Boston and New York in the same division. And that's just going to be a hard thing to deal with because those teams are very much doted on and have all the money in the world. So it's very, very difficult to be in the same division as the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Rays to an extent. And then also difficult to be in the Atlantic Division with the Knicks, the Celtics, and the Sixers also. Yeah. Carlos saying, imagine if we land Ohtani. It's going to happen this week. And it's either going to be us or the Dodgers is what I'm hearing. Cool Cat saying politics and elections going to be a shitstorm due to manipulation. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of stuff. And dumb people are going to hook, line, and sinker that shit. And it's going to be sad. It's going to be very sad. Well, Bester's saying Twins were a really good team. Shouldn't feel disappointed. Jays just need a roster to adapt in the playoffs because the Jays are always going to be good. And I'm Dominican. You love Junior. You love Vladdy. Yeah, awesome, awesome. Well, that's cool, man. Well, once again, I appreciate you coming in and joining us as a New York sports fan, and that we can talk civilly and have fun. I mean, the Yankees and the Jays, woo, that's always a battle too. It's just, Toronto and New York are always going to have a rivalry because they're two major cities. And in some ways, I'm glad that Toronto kind of sizes up with New York in some ways. That says something about our city over on this side of the border too. That we can be a good rival for you in different sports. In different sports. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me today. Just going over the Raptors, Giants of Africa 20th anniversary gala last night with Boys to Men. And then Scotty, very pissed off about Florida State's omission from the college football playoff. Very pissed off, as I am in Florida State Nation. Also, I am pissed off also. And yeah, we're just talking general stuff about Open Gym's decline and AI and the factor of AI taking jobs from good people like Oren Weisfeld and Amit Man. All right, y'all. Love you guys. I'll be back. If you want to play Tuesday trivia, come on in tomorrow and have your trivia head ready. 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. Let's go Raptors!